Good evening, Vicksburg. Beautiful day today, right? It's been 18 months since we've been together like this, so it could be raining and snowing and I wouldn't care. So I'll call to order tonight's Village Council regular session and Zoning Board of Appeals, 7 o'clock, Monday, September 20th, 2021. We'll say a Pledge of Allegiance, and right straight behind us there is a flag on the pole. Can you do roll call first? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That is the best we have sounded in 18 months. Very well done tonight. Thank you. We'll take a moment of silence here to remember all those that we have lost this past year. Mr. Mallory, if you would, when you have a moment, take a roll call.
Yes, sir. President Pro Temp Keller.
Here.
Trustee Holmes.
Here.
Trustee Olson.
Here.
Trustee Reister.
Here.
Trustee Wagner.
Here.
Trustee Merrill is excused out of town, and President Frisbee.
Here. We have an agenda in front of us tonight. Trustees, was there any additions or corrections? I'll ask the same of staff. Was there any additions, Jim?
We're just going to add, I think you're going to cover it during your comments, an open planning commission position.
Yes, very good. Thank you. Well, we have an agenda in front of us. What's the council's wishes?
Trustee Wagner, I make a motion to approve the agenda as submit.
Trustee Reister, second.
Trustee Wagner made motion to approve the agenda, seconded by Trustee Reister.
We are in person, so it can be a all in support.
All those in favor of the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same. We have an agenda. We have scheduled appearances tonight, and it's my great honor to introduce Mr. Mark Peterson. Been a long-standing member of this community for forever, and we're going to miss you dearly. And Chief Sanderson would like to speak to that, so thank you, Chief.
Yeah, as President Frisbee said, this is quite an honor. A couple items tonight, both in recognition of Mark's 16-plus years of service to our community. And complete privilege. I got to know Mark almost probably 20 years ago now.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
And just an outstanding person of character, and truly was blessed when I came to work for the village and knew Mark was on staff. Spent many, many years as a school resource officer. Save some of those details for the chief, but I definitely wanted to speak on behalf of the council and myself. Thank you for all you did these past years for Vicksburg. Truly an employee that even suggests asking for help, always bent over backwards. More importantly, want to extend our thanks to his wife and family. So key in a law enforcement officer's profession to have that support, and we know that Mark always received that at home. So thanks, and our appreciation goes out to the family, but I'll turn it over to Chief Sanderson.
Good evening, Council, everybody that's here tonight. We just wanted to recognize now retired, quasi-retired Officer Peterson here from Vicksburg. He's moved on to another job, I believe. But the village managers, I think, summed it up pretty good. Mark's had 16 years of work here in the village. Pretty much did everything that we asked him to do. Got along with everybody, most everybody. Really could relate to the citizens here. Really bought into what we were trying to accomplish. I think that helped with our goals here and what we were trying to do, at least over the last 4 years since I've been here. You know, he's served as a school resource officer for a while, field training officer for a while, a firearms instructor, an ordnance officer. So he's been pretty busy, nights, days, done all of that. So I guess I'll just move on. And what we want to do is just give him a plaque in recognition of his service. Basically what the plaque says, it's to Mark Peterson in honor of your years of service to the Vicksburg Police Department and your dedication to protect and serve the Vicksburg community. Congratulations on your retirement. And then it shows his dates in August. He started in 2005, and he retired from Vicksburg PD August of 2021. Congratulations.
Thanks,
Good
sir.
luck, buddy.
Thank you. Well, I didn't write a speech, so I'm just gonna go off the cuff on this here. Who typed up the agenda? Mr. Mallory?
I'm not sure if I need an attorney present or not,
Okay.
but I'll
I just would like to
venture
bust
out
their
there that
chops,
it
you
was
know.
me.
16 years, and everybody still spells my name wrong, so I just wanted to throw that out there to bust your chops a little bit. So Peterson is all E's. Peterson. Hey, they got the plaque right. So
There is some positiveness in consistency.
right. Thanks to the village council for the support over the years. It's been great. The community's been great. Thanks to my co-workers, Sergeant Stanfield. He's helped me out over the years, and I appreciate that. And working for Chief has been an honor. I got to say, he's been one of the best bosses I've ever worked for, and hopefully he'll stick around for a while. And thanks to my wife for all my tough days and tough nights and bearing with me and being there for me. And December 23rd of this year will be 31 years that I've been lucky enough to be married to this lady. So and thanks again. Really appreciate all the support over the years. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
You're going to be missed.
Words can't say enough for what that gentleman has done for this community. And we have a swearing in of Mr. Officer Andy Engler.
We get, I gotta leave this mic a little bit lower, but, so I'll just bend down.
It's perfect. Way to go.
Scott and I go back 30 years as well. So no, we get bookend really good to recognize Mark, and I mean at the community that your wife put on, there had to be a couple hundred people in our town come out, and that's how much you've impacted them. And now we get to start a new chapter in Vicksburg, is what's done in this profession, which is arguably the most noble profession that there is of service to a community. And very fortunate, we'll have Chief Sanderson swear in Andy Engler. And I'm very proud of the fact Andy has law enforcement experience here in Kalamazoo County. And in today's hiring situation, very proud that Chief Sanderson has created a culture in one which that I believe Officer Engler sees Vicksburg as a community wanting to serve as well as live in. So very proud and that you're on the team. And thank you, but I'll turn it over to the chief for the important stuff.
We'll do this last. I'll throw a couple things out about our Officer Engler here. As mentioned, Officer Engler comes with several years of experience. Most recently, he's come from the Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Department. He has 4 years as a road deputy there, nights, days, you name it. He's probably done it in the county. He's got counseling background, and when we first did our interviews, some of the things that Andy thought that were important was he wanted to go back to community. He didn't feel, I don't think he felt that way in the county, much busier than Vicksburg. Some things that you might want to be able to work with the community that you just can't do in some of these other larger departments. It's very hard. So Andy wound up, when we interviewed, he was the guy that we were going to put into the position. He believed in everything, again, that we were trying to do here, and we brought him on board. So with that, I think we'll do your oath. If you could.
If I can suggest, I know Andy's wife and family's here, so feel free, come on up. This is a family event. Go
Yep.
ahead and stand by
Yeah, come on
husband
up,
and
come on up.
dad.
This is wife Rebecca, and you're going to have to review
Yep.
the kids for me again.
This is Uriah, Mamie Rose, and Elliot.
Andy, what I didn't mention too is Andy has I think a deep-rooted family history here in Vicksburg
Yep.
as well.
Born and raised.
So that's pretty special to have an officer who wants to come back into the town that he grew up in and work. So
Yep.
with that, if you could raise your right hand and repeat after me.
Yep.
I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of police officer
of the office of police officer
in and for the village of Vicksburg,
in and for the village of Vicksburg,
the county of Kalamazoo,
the county of Kalamazoo,
and state of Michigan,
the state of Michigan,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Welcome to the team, sir.
Thank you.
And thank you, Officer Engler. Welcome aboard, and family. Stop on over. I see no public officials. There's none scheduled for tonight, so we'll move on to citizens' comments for agenda and non-agenda items only. If you would like, please step up to the microphone if you have any comments you'd like to share with the council. And if you would, please, state your name and address, please.
Hi, I'm Pat Wilcox, 531 East Prairie Street. And I just wanted to comment that I tried to figure out how to watch this on video live, and there's nothing on your website, nothing on the agenda. No, I didn't know how. So I just wanted to say if maybe that could be more present and prevalent. So that's it.
Thank you.
We're glad you're here tonight.
Hello, I'm Steve Richards, 13375 Park West Boulevard. I'm a board member with South County Community Services in the building right behind me here. And I just wanted to come and introduce myself. I'm a pretty new member of the community, just moved here 4 years ago. And I came mainly to just express a big thank you to the community for all the support that we have received over the years. It's allowed us to do things like the food pantry that we have, direct financial assistance, transportation, and many other services for a lot of area families as well as seniors. So thank you again for all that support. And if anyone has any comments or questions, to help answer them. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. All right, seeing no other residents, we'll move on to approval of the general consent agenda. We have the minutes of our regular council meeting on August 16, 2021. We have warrant reports total of $1,128,171.98. We have event requests from the Distant Whistle for the Oktoberfest, from Village Historical Society for the Harvest Festival, and Laura Mickey's graduation party coming up. Okay, we had Trustee Wagner motion with support by Trustee Keller. And it is money involved, so we'll have a roll call.
Roll call, and then I'll get a nod from the technical team that I'll, after this roll call, turn that mic off that's picking up the wind. Oh, appreciate that. Roll call on the general consent agenda. Trustee Wagner with the motion supported by President Pro Tem Keller. Trustee Reister.
Yes.
Trustee Olson.
Yes.
Trustee Holmes.
Yes.
President Pro Tem Keller.
Yes.
Trustee Wagner.
Yes.
President Frisbee.
Yes. All right, so we have an approved general consent agenda. In front of us, we have action items tonight. We need to move into a zoning board of appeals meeting. We need to motion into a public hearing. So I'll entertain such.
President Pro Tem Keller, so moved.
Trustee Holmes, second.
Trustee Keller motions and seconded by Trustee Holmes. So we now will open a public hearing. We'll take a voice vote on that motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same. So we have opened a board public hearing. We have a petition in front of us, variance request from Mr. Scott Moore of 4015 East X Avenue in Vicksburg, seeking relief from our ordinance 82-691-5 to construct an accessory structure in the front yard when accessory structures are only permitted in the rear yard. Mr. Moore, would you like to
What we'll do, if it's okay with you, President Frisbee, is we'll have Bobby Durkee come up first and present staff's analysis of this. I will let the council know that Andrew Horn looked at this request from the legal standpoint and met all legal requirements as well, and is staff's recommendation that this variance request is approved. We also have Chris Hamilton with our building inspection department, leads that and is a blessing to the city. She has graciously come down in case any of the trustees have any questions, but we'll turn it over to Mr. Durkee, and then after Mr. Durkee, if Mr. Moore has comments, and we'll move through the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim and Jim. So I'll provide a brief background of some of the language of the ordinance and the purpose of the request. Just as a reminder to the Zoning Board of Appeals is whenever there's an item in the zoning ordinance that can't be met, if there's no leeway in the ordinance, the Zoning Board of Appeals is the board that can grant an exception to those rules for setbacks, whatever the case may be. And the petition today is for freestanding solar panels. I think many people have seen residential solar panels that people will erect in their yard, and in a lot of communities such as Vicksburg, the codes haven't caught up to that. So there's no definition or anything called out for a solar panel. So anything that isn't, the ordinance has a primary structure and accessory structures. For a house, at a residential property, the house is the primary structure, garage, shed, windmill, solar panel, whatever the case may be, those are all viewed as accessory structures. So that's a little bit of background of the request and how it came to be. And in this instance, I know Mr. Moore applied for the permit to construct it, and we do a zoning review on building permits. And by our ordinance, accessory structures aren't permitted in the front yard, and in the research of the ordinance, the front yard starts from the front of the building on the property to the road. And in this instance, it's over a 3-acre parcel, over 800 feet deep, about 160 feet wide. And this house is probably over 600 feet back, and the owner had a survey as well. So and then the front of the property is full of trees and brush and lowland, so you can't even see the house from the property. But unfortunately, there's no exception, and if you think of the village, most places have much smaller lots with front yards, so that's a little bit of the why an accessory structure isn't permitted. So in the review of it, the staff recommendation is to approve because the fact it's not visible from the road, it is an outlier parcel in the village by being so large The house is very far back, limiting the use of the property. So for those reasons, and that's why the staff is supporting the variance request. And if there's any questions on any of the material that was provided, I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you, Bobby. Appreciate that.
I got a couple questions. Bobby, how many panels are they looking to install out there?
I don't know off the top of my head. I know I've seen the schematics. I'll let Mr. Moore or Christine
Okay.
answer that if they know.
All right, all right. Yeah, then I'll ask him a couple more then. Okay, thank you.
I will add, I do recall there is a size limit to accessory structures, and this doesn't exceed that. The size limit is no bigger than the footprint of the dwelling, and I know it doesn't exceed that.
Any further questions for Director Durkee? Hearing none, we'll entertain Mr. Scott Moore, the petitioner.
Hello, I'm Scott Moore, residing at 4015 East X Avenue. I'm here to answer any questions. I don't necessarily have any comments, but maybe comments will come as a result of some of the questions.
Yeah, certainly. I do want to thank Mr. Moore in person here in front of the council. I know you were very patient with us during the month of August as we did research on this unique situation. So thank you very much. It's been very nice to work with you on this.
Thank you.
Trustee Olson?
Scott, how many panels are you looking to install out there?
A total of 68 panels. The footprint of the solar array is approximately 10 feet by about 117 feet.
10 feet by 100. Okay, that answers the second question too. I take it this is for your personal use there at the house.
Correct.
So in other words, you're not going to run an extension cord from there to the mill.
Now, it is a net zero metering arrangement, which means that if everything goes the way it should, my electric bill will be zero at the end of the year.
Well, you probably sell some back to consumers. Or
Unfortunately, that's not possible. It's
Yeah.
the best you can do is break even.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Trustee Keller?
Mr. Moore, are these static panels or are they movable type of panels? In other words, do they track the sunlight or are they static?
So a little bit of both. They're static, but they have the ability to be manually adjusted during the season.
But they don't track automatically.
They do not automatically
Okay.
track.
Are they fairly low to the ground where they sit, or are they going to be elevated quite a ways?
The lower edge of the panels will be approximately 3.5 feet.
Okay.
The top edge will be approximately 10 feet.
Okay, I've seen those.
Any other questions for Mr. Moore? Had we all had an opportunity, do you know where he lives? Has anybody been out there and reviewed the survey? Yes, we'll get to you in one moment. Thank you. So no further questions for Mr. Moore? All right, well, we'll have public comments in support of the petition by Mr. Moore.
Good evening. My name is Karen Hildebrand, and I live at 4497 East X Avenue. Our property is directly adjacent to Mr. Moore's property, and everything that is stated in his proposal here is true. You cannot see his house from the road at all. You cannot see his house from our house. And there is no other option for putting panels in. Apparently, the train doesn't like my comments, so I'll just. That's what they said about COVID. Yeah. It's nothing, right? Right. In conclusion, I would like to support his petition for a variance. I see absolutely no reason why it should be denied. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Hildebrand. Do we have any public comments in opposition to the petition? I apologize, we have one more support.
Hi, my name's Scott Edwards. I live 2 houses to the east of Scott's house at 3785 East X Avenue. And I can tell you, I will not even see these solar panels from my house. And I'm just 2 doors down. So I don't see where this would be any issue whatsoever. It's not going to bother anybody. The alternative, I think, was to put it on the golf course side. And I would think that would be not a very good thing to do. So I am in support of this project. Thanks.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Edwards. I'll wait to see if anyone else is in support. Seeing none, is there anyone in opposition of the petition? Hearing none? Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, President Frisbee. Mr. Mallory, has there been any correspondence or anybody indicating, besides the 2 residents, any other additional thoughts behind this?
No, the variance request was publicly noticed through MLive, as well as certified letters sent within addresses of 300 feet. And the comments here tonight were all in favor. We received none in the office.
Thank you.
There is an opportunity here if there's any other final comments, Scott, you would like to have? All right, thank you, sir. I'll let the staff make their recommendation once again, please.
Yeah, I think with the comments from Director Durkee, as well as 2 neighbors within the direct line of sight of Mr. Moore's property, and how Mr. Moore's articulation and his application, as well as dealing with him the last 6 weeks, I'm fully confident that he will build the solar array as stated, and staff certainly supports that and recommends approval of the request.
I would agree. I think it was Mr. Edwards has stated it'd look a lot better in back than from the golf course view, so I appreciate that. And I had an opportunity to look at it from GIS and the satellite and drove out there, and I concur. No one would be affected visually by the addition of that. So we'll close the public hearing if there's no further comments.
President Frisbee, I move to close public hearing.
I'll support.
Mr. Keller moves to close the hearing, and Mr. Wagner support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? All right, public hearing is closed. And we'll have to go to deliberation, make a decision as to allow or disallow. What is the council's zoning board of appeals position?
President Frisbee, I'll make a motion in support of approving the variance.
Wagner support.
Councilman Olson, I second.
Trustee Olson, second. All those in favor? This will be a roll call, yes.
In the variance request, roll call vote with Trustee Wagner making the motion, with Trustee Olson supporting. Trustee Reister.
Yes.
Trustee Holmes.
Yes.
President Pro Temp Keller.
Yes.
Trustee Wagner.
Yes.
Trustee Olson.
Yes.
President Frisbee.
Yes.
The variance request is approved. Mr. Moore, you can proceed. And I want to make special note, Chris, thank you very much for coming in tonight. Truly appreciate it.
Thank you. I'll accept a motion to close the zoning board of appeals.
So moved.
All those in favor? Aye.
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 All those opposed? Same? All right. This moves us on to Mr. Mallory's manager report.
Yes, before I get started, I would, Ms. Wilcox, if you wish to stay after the meeting, I'll show you on our website where it's located. And I think once you see it, but what we did is on the front page of our website, and this was, we have about midway down, it says government YouTube channel, and it says watch. So you'd click on that, and it will automatically direct you to our YouTube channel, and then there'll be a box that says live event or live, and you'd click on that. But after the meeting, I'll wait around and show you. The live portion doesn't start until right at 7 o'clock, because that's when the technical team will have it going. So we put it up on social media, and we'll continue to demonstrate how that's doing. Certainly can. And also, what I'll do is include it in the next newsletter that goes out with the quarterly newsletter. So, but I'll definitely take time tonight to show you. I'll also take this time to thank Dominic and Gladstone and Associates for assisting us not only 2 weeks ago or last week, time's moving so quick or slow, at the Planning Commission, as well as tonight. One of the things in the commitment of transparency to our public is to be able to be remote and still stream live post-COVID times. And I'll second President Frisbee's comments that I will certainly put up with a little wind to be meeting back in person again. Update on the infrastructure project. We have the non-colored portions of the sidewalk where there's been curb installed from Clark Park to the east up until Main Street. Today they were putting the final grade of gravel in before asphalt, as well as working their way west from Pearl Street to Richardson. We have scheduled asphalt for the week of October 1st. It is our desire, hope, and expectation that all underground work will be completed here in the next 10 days, and I'm talking underground within the downtown section, which we can then start moving east on Washington. You'll see a lot of activity once the curb line gets put in on Prairie Street between Kalamazoo and Main Street between Prairie and Washington. It will show the new line with the 15-foot sidewalks and the pop-outs mid-block, all designed not only for walkability, hangoutability, but it is designed also to slow traffic down within our downtown district. So we're looking forward to that as we move forward. I'll pause there if there's any questions on the project specifically. Okay, we have started the prep work for the DPW building. The excavating was completed, the sand was brought in. We have had the property surveyed, and I anticipate by the end of next week, construction to start on that 6,000 square foot pole barn building. And it should be up in time. Like to thank the Road Commission of Kalamazoo. We worked with them to move our salt into their storage units, which they graciously allowed us to do, which weighed the salt prior to going in, and we'll bring the salt back out once our building is ready to receive it, which should be in plenty of time. So that's moving along. The third item is, I think, another demonstration of the community that we have the privilege to serve. The impact of this infrastructure project on our core downtown businesses has certainly been made. I pause only because I think recognition to our community who walks a little further distance to continue to support the local businesses needs some recognition as well, as we have seen that in our communication with business owners. Their patience, professionalism, and understanding is definitely appreciated. What I did is approached the Vicksburg Foundation here about a week and a half ago before their meeting. We had the Oswalt grant application already submitted, as well as a grant application for assistance with the construction of pickleball courts next spring. And it was in that conversation that we began discussing the impact of the infrastructure on our businesses. So working with them, they have put a pool of money together, have approved the grant. We normally would come to the council for approval to submit a grant. I believe all council members will understand that since the foundation was meeting, we went forward with an application. So tonight, we first will be asking the council to approve this grant opportunity. Upon your approval, beginning tomorrow, I will meet with business owners and ensure that, much like the COVID grant opportunity, we'll get that application in their hands tomorrow. We will ask them to return the application by October 1st, which will give us time to have it as part of the agenda for the October 4th council meeting for final approval. At the October 4th council meeting, in front of the council will be the specific amounts of the grants, and anticipating approval October 4th, we will distribute those grant funds October 11th to the businesses. And I'll pause there to answer any questions or clarify anything.
Jim, how many businesses are we looking at? I know that we did this once before with another grant.
There's a total of 48 businesses that won a portion of the infrastructure project has been done in front of. I do not anticipate that many businesses submitting an application, and it will be varying amounts. We certainly know the intersection of Kalamazoo and Prairie has been the most disturbed intersection right from the start of this project. But in total, there are 48 businesses that touch some aspect of where the construction has been so far. The heart of the impact is on Prairie Street and then Main Street.
Okay, thank you.
Jim, besides the geography of the businesses, what's the criteria that we're going to have for the amount of grant they can request?
The application will have a portion for the business to explain the overall impact their business has felt due to the infrastructure. So depending upon the information that they supply, could bring different levels, including, I imagine, those that I've had multiple business owners, including in the area of restaurants, let me know that they have in fact not been they've actually seen their business go up a little bit, which is positive and I think reflective of our community. But I imagine in those situations we will not receive an application.
Thank you.
Any further questions for staff? I take this opportunity to thank Village Manager Mallory for being progressive and thinking outside of the box and thinking of the community and those that were impacted by these unfortunate events. We had COVID terrorized us all, and then the infrastructure was in its infancy even before the COVID, and there was no stopping it. So, you know, hats off to all those business owners in the village, and this is just one way to show our support as a community to them for sticking it out with us. So thank you, Jim. Good job. We have an opportunity to approve this grant in front of us, so I ask the council, what is their pleasure?
President Frisbee, I would move to approve the grant process.
Wagner motions the approval.
Councilman Reister, support.
Trustee Reister, support. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same. Motion passes, Jim. Thank you very much. And I'll speak to this real quick. I was crossing off my last closing statements, but we have an opportunity in the village right now. We'll go a little further in explanation at our next council meeting to celebrate a longtime, forever village resident that sat on the planning commission that has chose to pull away from it to enjoy his family and his wife and his grandkids. So we have an open position on the planning commission and DDA. So we're accepting applications. If anyone has interest in it, please reach out to the village hall. You can pick up an application there. Reach out to any one of us via email. We can get it to you. I think this is a great opportunity for an individual that is really cares about the community and wants to get involved with the community to step forward. And we would gladly accept your application, and we'll set up interviews with the same. So did you want to speak further on it, Mr. Malley? Well, we're to report time of, did we have any motion movement on the tree committee?
We had a little problem with illness, so we had to cancel our We had a little problem with illness in one of our members, so we had to cancel our last meeting, but I was just got a call today, and so we're going to meet this Wednesday. And one of the things that we're going to be doing is we have blown up some maps of Vicksburg, and we're going to go around and mark where the houses are, the number of the house, and then also the number of trees that are there, and the possibility of some that need to come down, and places where we would place other trees. So we're in that process of trying to make some decisions. I doubt very much whether we would do anything with trees until the spring.
Right. Yep, absolutely. Thank you, Gail. Trustee Olson, was there a fire committee meeting last week?
Yes, there was. The big news is going to be that on Saturday at 9 o'clock, the motel out on 131 north of Schoolcraft will be set on fire, burned, as a practice for not only our South County Fire Authority, but other departments in the area. So it'll be done in 3 phases. It'll start at 9 o'clock. And there is going to be a viewing area for anyone from South County that wants to attend that. So if any of you want to go, just show up and find one of the firefighters or Chief McMillan. On Labor Day weekend, I spent, okay. I had to put up with this all day yesterday, guys, yeah, so. Okay, come on. Okay, I'm hoping you guys can edit that out. So, on Labor Day weekend, I spent 3 days in Teconcha, Michigan, which, if you don't know where it's at, if you go to Mendon and you go due east on M60, right where 69 and 60 come together, is Teconcha, Michigan. It's a nice little community, a lot like Vicksburg. They have an interstate and a McDonald's where we don't. So, but they were looking at $2.6 million building for their fire department. Their one was very cramped, and they ended up selling it and was able to raise the money to purchase the new building. The new building was a manufacturing facility, shipping and receiving, and the local businessman who loves the fire department sold that building to the village for $400,000, thus saving $2.2 million. The fire department, the firefighters have stepped in. They have gutted the building. They're replacing the ceiling tiles and the flooring, and they have got a facility that any village, any city would be proud of. To tell you how big it is, we could take all 3 of our departments and put inside there and still have room left over. They are also housing 2 ambulances. And the firefighters, I talked to them, let them know I was with South County, and they took me on a tour of the building. I wish I had had my camera with me. The next day I went back and took 2 pictures of the outside, which I've posted on Facebook. But this is a facility that the village should be proud of, and it shows what can happen when the people and the management pull together to do something. So other than that, the South County Fire Authority meeting lasted about 18 minutes. There was no discussion on getting a new building, but they are scheduled to have another meeting next month. So that's that. Then I have CATS, which CATS meeting is next Wednesday. So that's it. Thank you.
Is there South County Sewer?
South County Sewer and Water Authority, we meet tomorrow at 9:30 at Pavilion Township, so we'll find out what's going on tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Carl. Well, we'll go to trustees' time. We'll start with Trustee Wagner.
Thank you, President Frisbee. Just wanted to say thank you for the distant and not so distant whistle for joining us tonight. Little because of the train. I got to bring a little levity and a little joke in. But it's really heartening to see all the support for downtown. I mean, Manager Mallory, with partnership on the foundation to get the grant opportunity in front of us to further support financially those impacted businesses, and hearing that even some may not need any of the funding because they've been thriving because of the support of the community. It's really fantastic to see everyone coming out to support the community in this time of need, of change and transition. But now I would just challenge everyone to recruit more restaurants and more things that we don't currently have into our core downtown to enjoy the new streetscapes, the new everything that we're putting in, all this time, effort, love, and energy to make it even bigger and better than it was before we started the project. So I'm just looking forward to having it done and seeing what we can accomplish.
Thank you, Trustee. Trustee Reister?
Well, I'd just like to thank all of the people that live in the village, and they've been going through all of this construction and so forth, and I appreciate the fact that they're living through it and not complaining too heartily, and we can now see that things are on the other side and we're getting better. I noticed that one of our trustees now has a street in front of his house, so that's really nice. And so I know we're all looking forward to that, and I think it's been going along really, really well. Also would like to thank Mark Peterson, even though he's not here right now, for all of his service for Vicksburg.
Here, here. Trustee Olson?
As far as Mark Peterson goes, yes, I've known Mark for a few years, and let me just put it this way. My wife and Mark Peterson will go down in Vicksburg history, so, there's a story behind that. We're not going there. 2 personal things. Yesterday was the last vintage market here for the season. We've had 5 vintage markets and 3 flea markets here. Last week I sent Denise a list of dates for the market for the next 3 years. So we are committed to keeping this in the village of Vicksburg and hopefully making it grow. The other announcement I have is more personal. My granddaughter, my one and only granddaughter, just announced that she's getting married. And they have a venue, but they don't have a date yet. But she is marrying Zach Balkema, nephew of Mary Balkema, our former county treasurer. So keeping politics in the family. So
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nothing this week.
Thank you, Rick. President Pro Tem Keller.
Real quick, I'd like to also wish my congratulations to Officer Pearson on his retirement, and hope he enjoys the next stage of his life. Also to the village staff and Manager Mallory for, as President Frisbee said, thinking outside the box and reaching out to the foundation and seeing what we could do as a community to kind of help the businesses outside of patronizing them. So I really appreciate everybody's efforts on staff for doing that. So thank you.
Thank you, Carl. We'll wrap it up. A couple of quick comments here by myself. Oswald Park donations is still open. If you'd like to donate to the retrofit, the rebuilding of the park, you can donate at the Village Hall or go to patronicity.com/Oswald. And I'll just ask Jim for a quick update on where we're at with that.
Yeah, very proud, again, a reflection of this community. We maximized the matching grant from the state of Michigan in the first 30 days. So we have receipts in of donations that total in excess of $56,000 currently. It deserves a little bit. So we will receive the $50,000 match from the state of Michigan. We also our grant was approved through the Vicksburg Foundation for $50,000. The total cost of the project right now is estimated at about $200,000. We have committed Village and Downtown Development Authority money. However, we are keeping the fundraising open for another 27 days or until October 15th. We're very confident that we could approach between $80,000 and $100,000 total raised. So we have given the go-ahead to Prine Newhoff to go ahead and prepare this to go to bid October 1st and to open those bids the first week in November. Then we get a firm dollar amount. Part of the bid process will be that completion is expected to occur 1 week prior to the car show. So we have the park in complete use during that. And I think we met last week with Dan Oswald. Oswald Electric is tithing a considerable amount of the electric type related activities in the park. So we met with them in Prine Newhoff, and they're having a follow-up meeting, but some incredibly cool stuff will be down there on the electric side of things. So looking forward to it.
Thank you, Jim. I said, yeah, so please, thank you, Jim. Give often and give a lot. And be it known that if we exceed our numbers, the money will never be used outside of the Parks and Rec Committee. So we can use it down the future for vision we have for Clark Park. So that's just very exciting. Thank you all for that. Just an announcement about the 3rd annual Patriots Golf Day coming up at Angels Crossing this weekend. Phenomenal opportunity. All the proceeds go to benefit the Folds of Honor. In 2020, Folds of Honor awarded 36 scholarships in Michigan, totaling $175,000 for the children of our fallen servicemen and women. So what a great opportunity. So if you have some friends that like to golf, get a foursome together. If you don't have a foursome and want to golf, check in at the Angels Golf Course. They'll get you set up with a team. So that's an exciting to come up this weekend. And also the Harvest Fest.
Oh, thank you.
Is going on this weekend. Yay! Right? So it's the 26th. It's brought to you by the Vicksburg Historical Society. So we encourage everybody to come down here and take part of that. It's going to be held right here in this beautiful setting we're in now. So.
And also, all the buildings will be open.
All the buildings will be open.
All the buildings will be open. It's going to be great. We've got new food people coming in, and so please come.
You also have the Lions Club will be providing the brats from the B&B will be there, so.
Yeah, we need them. Mr. Mallory's got a little bit more on the Folds of Honor.
Yeah, on the Folds of Honor, I think it's pretty cool, too, to show you how some of the dominoes now connect with Vicksburg being in the forefront. The Western Michigan University golf team, the female golf team, all season long is recognizing a veteran for the Folds of Honor, the family. That veteran is Captain Drew Russell's family, who was a Army captain who gave the ultimate sacrifice, but he is a alum from WMU's aviation as well as a graduate from Vicksburg High School. So the golf team was down last Friday, played Angels Crossing, and all season long you can go to their Facebook page and they have a donation button. but for every birdie and eagle they make for the entire season, those raised monies will go to Captain Russell's in support of the family and that. So I think that's a pretty good connection through Western Michigan University.
Thank you, Jim. Yeah, it all comes home, so that's a good thing. Barring any further discussion, comments, entertain a motion. Denny?
Quick question, Jim, what's going on with the cat house?
Well, we've worked, and Chris not planned on, but being here deserves the credit, and part of the resources we receive from her group, but met with the homeowner about 2 weeks ago, maybe 2.5 weeks ago, developed a plan of action, and we're going to hold the resident owner to that. And there's a plan of action which way it goes. So,
Thank you. Chased out by the raccoons. So.
Well, there is a plan of action in place. We've gone through the appropriate policies. We appreciate everyone's concern, and it is being addressed, so thank you. Thank you for that. Any further questions, comments? None, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to close the meeting.
I move to adjourn.
Trustee Wagner moves to adjourn.
Support from Councilman Reister.
Support by Reister. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, stay here by yourself.